Welcome to the Break the Stigma podcast, where each episode we focus on raising awareness and debunking the negative stigma behind mental health.
I'm Angel.
I'm Kianah.
And this is the
Break the Stigma podcast.
Woo! This is episode 7. We're currently filming episodes. Actually, I filmed 7. I don't even know what fucking, because I'm all over the place with when I record versus when I put it out. So I don't know what episode this is going to be, but episode 6 came out on Friday, and right now it is Saturday.
Now it is Saturday.
Yeah, it's a 1 day difference.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. Well, today we're going to be doing a DBT Forum. Basically, this episode is going to be all about DBT. And we're going to be
a little bit about CBT.
A little bit about CBT. But we're going to talk about what DBT versus CBT is, which one we like better, where like the therapy style comes in, and our favorite skills and how we implement them into our daily life. So you want to go ahead and talk about what DBT is?
Yes. Well, DBT stands for Dialectical Behavioral Therapy. DBT is just a bunch of, it's like a skills-based therapy that targets more of the behaviors, whereas CBT targets more of like your thoughts type like it's CBT stands for cognitive behavioral therapy, so cognitive, normally your thoughts.
Yeah. I think like also CBT is focusing more on like reworking your thoughts, whereas DBT is focused more on behaviors.
Yeah, because it's like I like DBT better because it's okay to have like negative thoughts or, you know, or quote unquote negative feelings, but they don't have to change, but how you respond to them might have to.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like reworking your mind, not like ignoring the thoughts, but learning how to cope with the thoughts in the correct way.
Yes. So there's 4 like modules, I guess, of DBT, which is mindfulness, emotion regulation, distress tolerance, and my least favorite, interpersonal effectiveness.
Why is it your least favorite?
Because I suck at it.
Oh my gosh, wait, interpersonal effectiveness is my favorite because that's where Dear Man is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, interpersonal effectiveness is one of my favorites. But anyway, go ahead.
I'm so bad. Mostly because I'm not good at like confronting people. Maybe because it's my least favorite because I'm not good at talking to people.
Yeah.
Yes. So, speaking of favorites, what is, you said interpersonal effectiveness.
Yeah, well, I have 2 are my favorites. So interpersonal effective, blah, 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 blah. Interpersonal effectiveness and distress tolerance are 2 of my go-to modules of DBT whenever I'm struggling with urges. Interpersonal effectiveness because Dear Man, which stands for describe, express, assert. It's describe, express, ask, reinforce, mindfulness, assert, and negotiate. Dear Man.
Yes.
Yeah. So I struggle a lot with conflict and getting into, I don't like conflict or I don't like confrontation whatsoever. And so Dear Man basically helps me use conflict as something that is more comfortable, I guess. And then with distress tolerance, my favorite skill is TIP, which stands for temperature, intense exercise, and paced breathing.
What's the other P? Paired muscle
relaxation.
That's actually my favorite.
I always forget that there's 2 P's. But I don't know. I think TIP really works for me because whenever I'm really heightened in like an emotion, like the one thing that helps me is splashing cold water on my face, which is the T and TIP. And then intense exercise also helps, but then it's also like a downfall because both of us struggle with eating disorders. So whenever I was in eating disorder treatment, they changed the I to intense breathing, and the P was the paired muscle relaxation. There just wasn't a second P.
Oh, okay. That's why you forget that there's another P.
So whenever I was in DBT, the I was intense breathing.
Like hyperventilating?
Intense breathing. That's what I think of. But yeah.
Oh my god.
And then obviously paced breathing helps because, and paired muscle relaxation. I actually did that in therapy the other day.
Ooh.
My therapist guided me through muscle, I was supposed to say muscle spasm, a muscle relaxation thing.
Clenching your wrists, is that what I'm done?
Yeah, like, and then,
Okay.
It sounded like I was taking shit.
It did.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
What is your favorite DBT skill?
I'm also a fan of just distress tolerance. But I guess emotion regulation. Wait, I want to say this is emotion regulation. Opposite action.
Yeah.
It is.
Or is it mindfulness?
No, it's not mindfulness.
It's not mindfulness. Okay.
Yeah, emotion regulation. Opposite action, because I tend to, have like these strong urges to do maladaptive things like self-harm or like purging or like even like sex with strangers. Being real. So it's not. So opposite action is really good. Along paired with like I think stop, that is distress tolerance. What
does it stand for again?
I don't know.
I know what it is, but I forgot what it stands for.
Yeah, I know the S stands for stop.
The S stands for stop, and the S in stop stands for stop.
Okay, stop, take a step back, observe, and proceed mindfully.
Yep, that is what it is.
There we go.
Yep.
Thank you, Dr. Google.
Dr. Google.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Got its doctorate. Yes. So those two paired together. So I do stop first, and then opposite action.
Oh, so you have like a method of what you do each time?
Yeah, because I have to.
Yeah.
Like opposite action by itself, I don't think would be as effective.
I just kind of pick and choose. Like I don't have like a set routine that I do. It's like I have like a box, and I just like pick it out of a hat.
Your
What
DBT
skill am I
toolbox.
gonna use today? Yeah, my DBT toolbox. What skill am I gonna use today? We should actually make a DBT toolbox.
That would actually be
That
really
sounds
good.
fun. Yeah, we should do that. Anyway, like go to Michael's and get one of those like wooden
Yeah.
kind of box things, and then just take a bunch of pieces of paper. That would be so fun.
Yes,
We should
but
do
Dollar Tree, because I'm
Dollar
broke
Tree.
99.
Dollar Tree. Okay, yeah, we'll go there. Anyway.
Yes.
Yes.
Another DBT, I think, skill that is helpful with like just depression in general. It's not really like a skill type of thing. Well, technically it is. It's called Please. It's an emotion regulation, and it's all about like taking care of like your physical health. Because you know how sometimes like your physical health affects your
Correlates to your mental health. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're doing all of the things that's in ABC Please, well, it's called ABC Please, but I'm just talking about the Please part.
The please part.
That helps.
Yeah. I like forget about a lot of these skills, and then you bring them up, and I'm like, oh yeah, I do remember learning that. I'm just so we used to get all the like stupid worksheets
Oh my
that
god.
we would have to fill out in group. Oh my god, do you have to do worksheets?
We don't have yet. We get worksheets, but I don't have to fill them out. Thank God, because I don't know. I've been doing DBT like on and off since I was 14.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of them. So
Yeah.
I could probably teach like a DB class in my PhD
No,
program.
literally. Like I have been even before I started doing like my very first time doing DBT was when I was 14 also, and I was in a group.
Mm-hmm.
But then
That's
after
nice.
that, I loved it so much that I started studying it myself.
Ooh.
Yeah. So and then I went to res, and it was all DBT based. So yeah.
Right now, my PhD program is a mixture of DBT, and then we do like 1 day of CBT or one group.
Yeah.
And I think it's helpful because I think there is some merit in CBT, especially because sometimes I go on like this thought spiral.
Yeah.
So if I kind of change the way I view something, it might help with like my actions and my, what's the other one with the triangle? Thoughts, actions.
No clue.
Don't remember what the other triangle is.
The other triangle, you mean the other
I mean,
side?
the other point of the triangle.
Yeah. I think CBT is really helpful when it comes to eating disorders, though, just because, like, especially people that have body dysmorphia,
Mm-hmm.
like, it's obviously a thought in your brain that, like, I am a huge person and I am, like, horrible and disgusting.
Yeah.
I think CBT helps with that, but then whenever it comes to actions you do in turn of having that thought, that's where DBT comes in. So that's why I think DBT is a lot more helpful, because CBT just stops at your thoughts.
Yeah.
But so it's good for people that have like just depression or anxiety, but for the people that go more than just having negative thoughts, that's when they need DBT.
Also, another thing about CBT is where you learn about all those cognitive distortions,
Yeah.
which I think is a helpful thing to know. Like, And right now I'm at the point of like, I know them, it's not changing them, but like,
yeah, exactly.
like I know this is catastrophizing right now.
Yeah, like I'll have a thought, and literally my first thought after that will be like, this is why am I thinking so black and white right now? But then I don't do anything to change it.
Yeah,
It's just, it's there. The thought is there. It's the thought that counts.
yes,
Like they say.
we're in like the like midway part of like fixing our brains.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, I mean, it's a start because,
Yeah.
like, if you would have asked me last year if I was having one of those thoughts, I mean, I knew what it was, but I would have been like, it's whatever. Like, that's just the way I'm thinking. But now I'm at a point where, like, I try to be like, what am I supposed to be thinking in place of this right now?
Yeah, you're like more mindful of your thoughts.
Yes, more mindful.
DBT.
DBT.
Do you know about like the what and how skills
Yeah.
for mindfulness?
Yeah.
I think the how is the hardest thing.
You want to explain to them what it is?
Oh, yes. Okay. So what skills are basically how you do mindfulness activities, and I pulled it up, but I got rid of it because I need to look up what stop was. So it's like the 3 what skills is observe, describe, and participate. Those are kind of like those more grounding techniques of like you can observe something, like scenery or
Yeah, like the have you ever played the color game? Like look for something red, look for
Yeah.
something yellow, orange.
yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that until
Yeah.
just now. I
Yeah.
remember I did it in a session
Yeah.
because I was freaking out.
Yeah.
Okay, but describe. It's basically like, let's see, this water bottle next to me. Like I would describe how it's clear at the top when I drank some water, and it's kind of like opaque. Is it opaque? Or
Opaque.
opaque? Yeah, because the water is cold, and it's coloring the bottle. So that's the describe skill that helps with grounding, and then participate. I'm not clear on like what participating is.
Participating in
Oh, it's like getting into something, like
Yeah.
doing something.
yeah.
Like
To distract yourself, right?
Right. Like I remember we used to do categories as a participate
Yeah.
in like a DBT program, because it's like you're getting yourself focused on like this one singular thing and like not anything else. And especially me because I'm competitive and I was gonna win.
Or another game I used to play. I think this is like kind of like a bootleg categories, but like you pick a letter and instead of a category, you pick a letter and then you have to write down as many words with that letter as you can remember.
Ooh, I
And
like
whoever
that
has
too.
the most words wins.
I like the bootleg version of categories.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
And okay, so we did the what skills. Now, here's the how skills that I am not the best at. So, the first one, non-judgmentally, I judge everything.
And everyone.
Yes.
And myself.
Yeah. More specifically myself, but like everyone too. And like judgments aren't like, when you think of judgments, they can be like good or bad.
Yeah.
But, or no, when you think of them, they're mostly bad, but they can be either good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm like, again with the water bottle, like it's a weird looking water bottle because like
That's how all water bottles look.
it's a weird looking one. That's a judgment.
I guess.
But
You're a weird looking water bottle.
thank you. I would like to be called chocolate milk now.
Chocolate milk. Is that racist to yourself?
I don't know.
Why not regular milk?
Because I'm black. Okay. And then one mindfully, which is hard. It's a good thing to practice because one mindfully means that like you're focusing on one thing in the moment right now. My mind, I don't have ADHD, but like it seems like I do sometimes. Like sometimes I'll see something and I'm like, oh, squirrel.
Made me this collar. He is a good and smart master, and he made me this collar so that I may talk. Squirrel!
Like
Yeah.
out of like nowhere. And then effectively it's just to the best of your ability, which is great. I'm
Yeah.
fine with that because.
Yeah.
But the other two, the how skills, I'm not
Yeah,
a very
I'm not-
mindful person.
I'm not good at anything.
Okay, so we're gonna reframe that.
I'm good at everything.
That's an example of some bullshit. Because you're not gonna instantly believe your thoughts. God.
That's my goal in life.
Yeah.
It's
Well, God
to-
is a woman,
It's to
apparently,
rule
according
the
to
world.
Ariana
I'm
Grande.
gonna insert. God is a woman.
Hey.
God is a woman. Whoa, it lingers when we're done. You'll believe God is a woman.
Oh, that harmony.
Period. We're so good. We really should audition for America's Got Talent.
I know. I
This
can't.
is the second episode in a row.
Right. Ray, dude.
Ray, dude, it's Randy Jackson.
Oh, Randy Jackson. It's a no for me, dog.
Yeah.
But like, I would only audition if he was there,
Yeah.
cause I need to hear like it's a no for me, dog.
What if it's a yes for me, dog?
I'm good with. I just want to be called a dog.
Okay.
In like the sultry voice of Randy Jackson.
So with that being said, we're going to take a short break. And we will be back afterwards. And we're back.
Hello. Welcome back. Over the break, we discussed
What we're going to talk about in the last half of the episode.
yeah. So, we were talking about DBT earlier, and we failed to mention the founder of it all.
Marsha Linehan!
Woot woot. Thank you.
Is she dead?
No.
Oh.
She founded BPD after trying to find the right treatment for her, and nothing helped.
Yeah.
I know, like, I was reading and it said that like she was actually she went to the hospital just to like get her symptoms under control because she was feeling super suicidal and just depressed and all over the place. And almost, she said like she was literally out of control.
Yeah.
And she was 17 and they diagnosed her with schizophrenia and like dumped her full of drugs, and she had ECT, and that nothing helped. Then she finally came across the diagnosis of BPD, but it didn't. Still, the treatment wasn't good. It was more like CBT, like change your mind.
Yeah.
And wasn't helpful for her. So then she created DBT.
And for those of you that don't know, she actually created DBT specifically for people with borderline personality disorder because, like Kianah was saying, CBT doesn't really help people with borderline because borderline is more so action-based rather than thought-based. And so there was nothing out there at the time that was action-based therapy, so that's why she created DBT for people with borderline. And coming from someone that is borderline, I can say that it 100% is so helpful because I do not really like CBT at all because it doesn't help me.
Right.
So having DBT as the alternative and having it be like kind of made for me is like
It was made specifically for Angel Bradley.
Yeah, on like is there a copyright for DBT? Made for Angel Bradley.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Definitely for her.
But do you want to talk about your tentative diagnosis and if you think that you have that DBT helps you because of that?
Well, I was talking with my therapist actually yesterday, and we were talking and kind of discussing if I might, like, I did a survey and she gave me the survey because she suspected that I might have BPD, not like the outward, like I don't have really relational issues, but it's more with myself. And I was confused because I've heard like that presented in that way, like I didn't know. So I got home and I looked up like BPD and all that stuff, and then I found an article about quiet BPD, which is more about the relation with yourself and how you treat yourself. Because I am a not good person to myself.
So what's the difference between quiet BPD and I guess regular BPD?
I think quiet BPD, regular BPD. I can't talk. So many acronyms. BPD, borderline personality, is more of your attachment with others. Like it can be chaotic at times, and you have mood swings, and you hate someone, or then you love them.
Yeah. So it's everything like outward wise.
Yeah.
And quiet BPD is focused on internal, like within yourself.
Yes, like some of the things I read about it, it's like a lot of like people pleasing and a lot of negative thoughts about myself and like this internal chaos that I can totally relate to.
Yeah.
And reading it, I was like, wow, like this actually makes sense. because for years, and even my mom has said this at different points in my life, there has to be something else. Like, I'm not just depressed.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I am depressed, but like, I don't think this is how I should be feeling, I guess, with just depression.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was kind of talking with my therapist, Kianah, and then like reading about it. It was almost like an eye-opener. Like, wow, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's how it was for me also, because I mentioned this in the BPD episode that's going out on Friday when you guys are seeing this on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But I mentioned how like I was misdiagnosed with bipolar at first, and I had the bipolar diagnosis for so many years, and although some parts of it made sense, it just felt like something was missing. And like, I'm a huge label person. I don't know why, but like I enjoy the labels.
Me too.
Because it makes me feel like I'm not crazy. Like, I have something that makes me act this way.
Yeah, like it makes sense.
Yeah, and so whenever I finally got the BPD diagnosis, I was like, oh, that's why I do this and that, and it's not just having bipolar mood swings, it's that I have BPD and I am impulsive and intense emotions and things like that. So you think like it was like a relief for you to finally have something like, oh, there's more than just depression and an eating disorder there.
Crazy enough, it was a mixture of both. Like when she first brought it up, and when I first looked at the survey, I was like, oh my god, this lady's gonna tell me I have BPD.
Yeah.
And the sad part is, I wasn't thinking about like just having it, but like the negative stigma around it. I didn't want people to judge me about it.
Yeah.
Which is so sad.
Do you judge me?
No, and that's the thing. I don't care about having it. I just know that other people have like this harsh like judgment about it, which is not the case. I actually told her about you in my session.
Oh, period.
Like,
so now both of our therapists know each other.
Yeah, like the girl that do the podcast, I talk about you often.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But yeah. So that's the more negative side of it. And I know that like certain therapists won't see you if you like have that diagnosis and all of those things.
Because they think they are too hard to work with.
Yeah, like you can't change.
Yeah.
And that's a little scary because I don't want to be judged off of like what's written on like a piece of paper instead of like me. Because I'm awesome.
Yeah, that's why they say treat the person, not the diagnosis.
Right. But the other side of the mixed reaction was like, yay, like something else.
Yeah. Yay.
That
I'm
tells me
up.
yeah, but no, but I'm like, why do I hate myself so much? Because I don't think I'm a bad person.
Yeah. But then
I do. Like I didn't like sometimes I get so down on myself like I murdered someone. Like the guilt that one would feel about murdering someone is how I would feel just about myself.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't understand this. So that was super interesting, and I'm looking forward to like learning more about that, I guess, journey.
Yeah.
Or learning more about myself with this diagnosis. And
so do you think that you're like, I don't know how to word this really, do you think that it makes you like a different person now that you like, because do you feel like a part of you was like kind of, I don't know how to word this, like avoiding something because, do you know what I'm asking?
yeah, like was I kind of like, I guess,
I don't know how to word it at all.
not like avoiding reality.
Yeah.
In some way.
Yeah, because you didn't know that there was this other part of you that had to be managed.
Right. No, I don't feel like a different person. I feel like the same person, but like just with my eyes open more.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Yeah, because I left the session and I think ate a snack or whatever, and I'm like, you know, this is still me. I still don't want to eat this fucking snack.
Yeah. But now I don't want to eat this snack and I have BPD, possibly.
Yeah.
So did you have to like update your treatment plan and stuff?
No. I really appreciate my therapist, Kianah, because she's suspected it for a little while. But then our last session, I was just talking about how, like, my brain is just, I don't understand it. Like, it's just so messed up.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, let's bring this to her attention. And she's like, she told me, like, she was actually nervous to bring it up with me because she didn't know how I would react to it.
Yeah.
So I don't even think like she, I guess made a treatment plan or something about it.
Gotcha.
It's still an ongoing discussion, but I just like how human she was. Like when she says it, I'm like, oh my god, you're so human.
Human?
Yeah.
Is she a centipede?
No, like you know how sometimes you look at your therapist and you're like, you have all your shit together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But like that moment, I was like, wow, you don't,
You
and
have
it's
feelings.
awesome. Yeah.
Of your own.
Yeah. Like you are a person
Yeah.
with emotions.
You're not just this
You're not-
entity that
Yeah.
I tell my emotions to.
Yeah. So yeah, she didn't just come out of the womb with like a master's in psychology.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like my therapist did.
I know.
She's so good at what she does, and I'm like, how did you
How'd you get from
only
like
study this for a few years and somehow you're so good at it? No, you just came out perfect.
Sometimes I suspect like if a therapist, if they've really like gone through shit, like you can tell by just like how they talk to you.
Yeah.
Like you've gone through it. Like that. That's why.
Yeah.
You
No, my
understand.
therapist said something, and it's so true, that she wouldn't trust a therapist that didn't go to a therapist themselves.
Oh fuck yeah.
And like, I just think that that's so true, because obviously, if you don't have your own shit, how are you gonna help me with my shit if you can't relate?
Yeah.
You know?
Like I feel like, and just in general, everyone should have a therapist.
Yeah. Even
Everyone
if you
needs
think
that
you have
safe
nothing
space.
wrong with you. Everyone, even if it's just talk therapy, like you don't have to be working through trauma, but like,
Yeah.
even if you just have a hard day at work, you know, you want to end and have therapy at the end of the week and just process it and let it all out.
Yeah. I think that's perfect. But therapist hearing like just my stuff alone, like yeah, she needs a therapist.
Yeah.
It's a lot going on here.
Yeah, exactly. I feel kind of, sometimes I like feel bad for dumping all of my shit onto my therapist, and then I'm like, that's her job to listen to all of this.
Oh yeah, I don't care. I mean, my first session with Kara, I dumped the craziest.
I just sent her a PowerPoint.
I said I like record myself like a voice diary and I send it to my therapist Jill.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Such a fun relationship that you have.
Yeah. She's like, just send it to me anytime. I take advantage of that.
I have a journal with my therapist, and I put a picture of me crying in there. Just because I was like, this is how my day went. Just talk about it. But this is how my day went.
I don't want to talk about it, but I'm gonna send you a picture of me crying.
Well, and before we end, back to DBT. Do you think that it's become part of your life, or is it something that's like just kind of in the back of your mind when something happens? Or do you think you like actually like every single day you subconsciously use skills without thinking about it?
I would like it to be part of my everyday life. Even knowing that I've done it for so many years, it's still not.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the reason why I'm still not good.
Yeah.
But it's become more and more, it's becoming ingrained in me.
Because sometimes, like, if I like am going through something, and then my therapist will be like, "Well, what did you do to not engage in behaviors?" And I tell her, and she's like, "Oh, you're using skills." And like, I didn't even realize that I was using skills, but it just kind of like is second nature for me, because I've been learning about it for so long, and it's like ingrained in my brain. Like, this is what you do when you're feeling this.
I would love for that, like that moment of like, oh, I used like a therapist telling me, oh, you used a skill. And I'm like, oh my god, did I?
Yeah, it's like very like, I don't know, like I feel like praised.
I know. Like, look at, I'm so skillful.
Yeah, exactly. Look at me using my skills without being told to.
Yeah, right. that would be great.
Yeah. But
That just inspired me.
you're gonna go
study
to skills
deep.
now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be DBT.
Well, making our
queen.
craft box is distraction. Is that a skill? Distracting yourself?
I feel like that's in one of like
It gotta be
emotion
something.
regulation.
Emotion regulation, distress tolerance, doing
Yeah.
something to take your mind off of
Yeah,
things, you know?
I agree.
Well, with that being said, we're gonna cut it off here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see y'all next time.
Next time, I won't be in the next episode. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you should be.
Sorry, I have to go to therapy.